The way we think is different. The way we make sense of the world is different. We are an alternative civilization. और जो contemporary crisis है, जो civilization का, उसकी solution हमारी culture में है. हम nature को worship करते हैं. They do things to nature, but we do things for nature. Cartesian separateness has been a root of conflict in the West, but we have no separateness of reality. I'll talk about drivers of thought in the context of how our conception of knowledge or philosophy of knowledge is different from the West. We all know that we are different. And we also know that the Western Academy keeps on attacking our civilization. And we should ask ourselves why. Because our knowledge-centered civilization, or we put it that way, that our civilization is an alternative civilization to the Western. Knowledge-centered as it is, therefore, our knowledge culture is the alternative to the Western knowledge culture. And though we have foundational different ways of looking at things. Ultimately, knowledge is about making sense of, using the word in the widest sense, making sense of the world around us. And this world, with a capital W, includes the cosmos, the earth, and what lies under the earth. And we try to make sense of the world. And knowledge culture is the mode or the expression of what sense we make of the world. And therefore ours is an alternative mode. Ours is an alternative mode, alternative way of looking at things. And I think what I'm going to say, we will all share that it is so. The only point is that sometimes very ordinary things, very ordinary habits of thought that we have, we don't take note of them. But when we try to take note, we find that this is the way we look at things, and this is not necessarily the only way to look at things. So there is this world around us. There is a world out there. There is a world out there, a reality out there. What it is, everybody, every culture, every individual, every thoughtful person predicates that reality, that this is the reality. But then, it's not certain that actually we are able to actually cognize reality as it is. What we do is we construct that reality, construct. Ye dunya, ye sansar, Brahmand, universe, there is out there. It is very complex. It is open-ended, it is infinite. But we, in our mind, in our thought, which is expressed in language, we make sense of that and analyze, categorize. That is, the world that we talk about is a conceptual world and not the world as it is out there. Because everybody has the other way of... We don't have two persons, two friends who can agree on the quality of coffee. So the question of agreeing on what reality is a very, very big question mark. So there is a world out there and there is a conceptual world. And when we talk about the world, we are talking about the conceptual world. So we conceive and we conceive the world. The conceived world is conceived in terms of categories. And those categories, the sum total of those categories constitutes what we call knowledge. The world out there, as I said, it has three divisions I have indicated. I have indicated these three divisions on the basis of one of our thinkers, Rajshekhar, who says that the reality, to talk about reality, we have to talk about the cosmos, we have to talk about this earth, Jagat, and we have to talk about the Patal, the underworld. That is the world which lies under the earth, under the seas and all that. So three. And this, the categories that we use for these three categories, they are of two kinds. Two kinds. Categories of things which actually exist, and categories about things that we postulate. Now, for example, Sukh or Dukh. Now, Sukh or Dukh is not something which you can quantify. You can't observe it, you can't see it. It doesn't exist. It comes and goes. It comes and goes. And in the same way, let's say, taste, experience, taste, or happiness, or sorrow. These are postulates. And in theories, in scientific theories, there are postulates. E is equal to mc square is a postulate. It cannot be verified in the laboratory. It cannot be. It cannot be observed. It cannot be quantified. But having accepted this and using it, we can describe infinite phenomena, physical phenomena. In the same way, in the aesthetic world, the theory of ras, for example, ras, bada ras hai isme bada ras hai. Now, ras is not an object. Ras is not a thing. It is not made, constructed. It does not come into being for you to see. You can't see. Then what is it? It doesn't really exist. But having accepted it, you are able to describe the quality of effect that a work of art has on the individuals. And you explain that. So it is a powerful explanatory principle. So categories are of two kinds. And this conceptual world that we create through intra-categorial structure, this conceptual world is our knowledge culture. It is in fact constructed by our knowledge culture. And this constitutes our knowledge culture. This is how we make sense of the world. The conceptual world is the way we make sense of the world as it is. We don't know what it is. You see, you look at an ordinary object, go out and look at a tree, you only look at this side, you only look at it above the ground, you can't see the roots, you can't see the other side, you can't see how the what is called saphurata and what is called the interplay of light and shade that is constantly changing under the tree with the leaves waving and all that. And that's all part of reality. You can't capture it, you can't see it. But then it's partial. But then that is how we call it a tree. And we conceptualize it. So this is our knowledge culture. And this is how we make sense of the world. So knowledge culture is the way we make sense of the world. I'm using the world in a larger sense with a capital W. I'll use it W, small w, for ये हमारा जगत जो है, जगत. और इसमें जगत, you see, for example, jagat also, jagat has two dimensions. You see, 2 and 2, 4 in fact. जो हमारी दुनिया जो है, इसमें there is an external world and there is an internal world. हमारे अंदर भी एक दुनिया है, हर एक के अंदर है, और एक बाहर की दुनिया है जो हम अपनी सेंसेस से देखते हैं, isn't it? सेंसेस से देखते हैं. And there is something which sort of, is postulated but does not exist in this world, Jagat. You postulate many things about this, that all we observe. And there are things which exist. For example, substance, time, quality, relation, quantity. These are things which exist. And as we are familiar, these are Aristotelian categories of reality. If you read Kanad's Vaisheshika Sutra, you have 24 categories of reality. So these are of things which exist. But then there are a lot of categories about things which do not exist. Apurva Satta. For example, God, Atma, soul. And I have already said sukha, dukkha, nirmoha, moksha, all those things. You see, they don't exist like, for example, a quantity or a quality or something that you see. So knowledge culture, therefore, is the way we make sense of the world. Now there are only two knowledge cultures in the world, only two. One is from the Middle East, the Abrahamic, and the other is Vedic. The Abrahamic has Judaism, Christianity and Islam, the Tantra, systems which emerge, and Vedic has Sanatan, Bauddha, Jaina and Sikh. And then there is grafting in India. I mean, we were not talking about India only, but then if you talk about India, there is a grafting of two Abrahamic systems on top of these four here, So you have these two knowledge cultures. The difference is very, very, very fundamental. The Abrahamic system is theocentric, God-centered. As you all know, they are Ek Ishwarvadi or Ek Nirakar Ishwarvadi. The Abrahamic knowledge culture is the primary object of knowledge in the Abrahamic culture is God. And then man, I can see people will think why I'm saying that, but if you look at the 700 AD, after the fall of Rome, right up to Renaissance, the European monastery scholarship was all about God. The St. Augustine or Marcus Aurelius, Thomas A. Kempis, great minds. It was all about God, about man's relationship to God. That was the subject. So the entire knowledge expression of the system was around one formless God. So that is a theocentric system. Ek Ishwar, Nirakar. But the problem is that they have a Nirakar Ishwar, but it is not Nirgun. This is a logical fallacy. That's a fault line. And that's why the three one God people, they fight each other. They say one God, but my one God, not your one God. Because my one God has, as I think Spinoza says, that the Hebraic God is an angry God. Anger is not a divine property. It is a human quality. So it's to have Nirakar but Sagun. It's a logical fault line. But then that one principle, God-centrism, it generates a certain totalitarian thinking, totalitarian worldview that seeks to impose itself in several dimensions. I'll not go into the details. There is a kind of monistic straitjacket, monism ka straitjacket on the mind. The mind, everything has to be one God, one truth, one people. You see, one people. And everything else is non grata. Either it has to be transformed or it has to be rejected, if not removed. Rejected, if not removed. That is the price of monism. But the Vedic culture is not theocentric. It is a jiva-centric. Jiva-centric. You will all, I think, if not laugh, you will all be amused if I say that the four Vedic generated systems, Sanatan, Bauddha, Jain, and the Sikh, they are godless systems. We are a godless people. We don't have a God with a capital G. None of us. Buddhism is obviously, has no God. Jainism has no God. And you see, Sikh system has Guru, Vaheguru. And the Sanatan system has Brahman. Brahman is not God. Brahman is not God. Brahman is the energy principle. So we are in fact, luckily, happily, godless people. And we don't fight, therefore we don't fight about gods. We don't find, we are not monistic, we are heterogeneous and pluralistic, and therefore tolerant, and therefore have a greater degree of acceptance, and have over the ages, if you follow Vishnu Puran, have over the ages received many races, accepted them, have many, many thought systems, a whole diversity not only of geography, but also of the landscape of the mind in this country, generated by the fact that our knowledge culture is not, the object of knowledge is not God, but Jeev, life forms. And you pick up any text, and it's concerned with how the four ends of life, the righteousness, material well-being, fulfillment of desires, and freedom from all this, how these four ends of life have to be realized, have to be fulfilled. If you read we have luckily a 13th century compendium of Indian philosophy, while West had first through Voltaire in the 18th century. Only in 18th century they had a compendium of Western philosophy, but we have a compendium of Western Indian philosophy in 13th century, Madhvacharya, 16 systems of thought. So if you read through, you find the central concern is the happiness, the welfare of life, Jeev, all Jeev. We are taught human rights and, told about human rights. But, our culture is worried about the rights of all Jeev, all life forms. You have our ladies, feeding birds, feeding ants, cooking for the dogs, cooking for the animals, sharing with all forms of life. And therefore, our whole knowledge culture is devoted to welfare of life forms. So there's a very fundamentally different kind of concern. If we look at all this, then there are some basic categories of thought by which we make sense of this whole universe, in which we are very different, we think differently from the West. And I'll put it to you one by one, not go into detail because I'm sure you can all then reflect on it and consider, for example, the category of God. Now, God in the Abrahamic Western system is one and with attributes, one. The one God. हमारे बच्चे जो स्कूलों में पढ़ के आते हैं, हमारी शिक्षा जो है, why you should compare India and West? Because we are a schizophrenic people. The education system makes us schizophrenic, split personalities. हमारे बच्चे पढ़ के आते हैं, उनको समझ ही नहीं आता कि ये देवी देवता, ये इतनी मूर्तियाँ, इतने 33 करोड़, ये देवता, वो देवता, पत्थर का भी देवता, वो पत्थर को रखा हुआ है, वो भी देवता. अबे भगवान तो एक होता है और भगवान तो दिल में रहता है, ये उसी के आते हैं. अच्छा, भगवान दिल में रहता है, भगवान एक होता है, भगवान क्या है, गॉड क्या है, उसके ऊपर I have seen people take pride. My son is very bright, He is in class 5. He says, there is no God. I say, wonderful. He is far ahead of Plato at this age. He can address a question like this and give a categorical answer. हमारे बच्चे जो पढ़ के आते हैं, उनके माइंड में एक कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन आ जाती है. एक गॉड है. But then, examine, is there one God? Where is he? Is there a God? The Mahatma Buddha considered it an ati prashna, extreme question. What is an extreme question? You can neither say yes nor no. Does God exist? If you say yes, I'll ask you to show me. And if you say no, I'll ask you, have you gone to the ends of the universe? Maybe he's sitting somewhere. So you can't say. So the whole question that nobody, but we got hota hai. Everybody thinks this very, very rational, very reasonable position कि God एक है, making no distinction between God with a capital G and gods and goddesses with small g, which are simply names for certain functions or properties. हमारे घर में एक लड़की होती है, जो घर की लड़की होती है, उसके 10 नाम होते हैं. उसे कोई हनेरी कहता है, कोई एक नाम से बुलाता है, कोई कुछ कहता है, कोई कुछ कहता है. एंड देन अगर उसके रिश्ते देखे जाएं तो वो किसी की चाची, किसी की मासी, किसी की बुआ, किसी की भतीजी, किसी की बहन जी, किसी की ग्रैंड डॉटर, किसी की ताई, किसी की मामी. ए वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स, you see. So no oneness. There is no one in any structure. A structure is a complex. Even the atom is not one. The subatomic particles themselves can be reduced to further divisions. You never reach the end of divisions in anything. That's what Nagarjuna, in Madhyam Karika said. And that is what he called Shunyata. If you start searching for the final, you don't find it. You want to believe in one God? Okay, Brahman. You want to believe in two? Sitaram, Radhe Krishna. You want to believe in three? You have the Trinity. You want to believe more? You have the 12 lingas and all that. 54 Shakti Pitha. And no, you don't want to believe in them. You want to make your own God. Go to the river, pick up a stone, wash the kitchen, and put it there. Every day apply Roli, and it becomes sanctimonious in 30. You put a calendar picture of a God on the wall. Let it remain there for 45 years. 45 years. It becomes a power focus. It controls your life. When you go, you say. When you come back, you say. And you draw power from it. So this is a relationship of inner self with the outer self. So you focus the outer self in an object. So you can do that. If you don't want to do that, then you yourself are a God. Aham Brahmasmi. Main hi Brahma hu. And you have the serial Buddhas, 10,000 Buddhas. Each one of us is a potential God. Potential God. So this is the cafeteria approach to God that our knowledge culture has. And that's why we are eclectic, we are not intolerant, and we find it very easy to accept a difference. Very easy to accept. So this is taken creation, Srishti, creation. In the Abrahamic system, this whole universe has been created by God. So God is a creator. He is a being. वो जैसे एक बच्चा हाथ से बैठा घड़े खिलौने, उसी तरह God is also a creator. So in the Abrahamic system, the whole universe is created by God, and God is outside the creation. Therefore, He is outside the creation. And because He is outside the creation, He watches. He is watching. And He watches everything. He watches you, and He watches your actions, and even maybe cutting chalans if you do something wrong. If you do wrongs, you have to apologize. You have to seek, forgiveness. You have to confess. You see, you have to re-establish your relationship with God. So God is a very totalitarian, and He is beyond a certain line. You can't go near Him, because if you do, you transgression. पर हमारे यहाँ ब्रज में क्या कहते हैं? कृष्ण हमारा, हम कृष्ण के, हम तो वह का घोड़ा बना रहे, हम तो कृष्ण का घोड़ा बना रहे. God is, with a small g, is a friend. Don't think that Krishna and Ram are God with a capital G. What kind of gods? Ram had to take Jal Samadhi in Saryu Nadi. You see, a suicide. And Krishna was shot like an animal. He was killed like an animal. And look at their life. Their life was more miserable than an average human life. You see? So that's no mistake, avatars, because we call even the great grammarian Panini, Bhagwan Panini. We call Ved Vyas, Bhagwan Ved Vyas. For us, anyone who reaches perfection is God, with a capital G. That's what Krishna tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. When Arjuna is not able to, recognize where God is, what is God, and even when the Virata Rupa frightens him, he's not able to, then in the, 11th, 12th chapter, वो विभूतियों का वर्णन करते हैं, विभूति योग में, he says, but sir, where should I recognize you? And you know what Krishna says? Wherever you see perfection, there I am. I am the perfection of everything. Even the perfection of a gambler who gambles successfully, I am that. You see? तो बड़ा ब्यूटीफुल चैप्टर है वो, स्थिर रहने वालों में हिमालय, बहने वालों में गंगा, you see? छंदों में गायत्री, महीनों में मार्गशीर्ष. It's a tremendous poetry. Unfortunately, we don't read these books because we have been told these are religious books. Our systems, our four systems, we have no religious books. We have no sacred books. You can tear them, you can set them on fire. Nobody will say anything to you. They are knowledge texts. They are not sacred texts. They are Gyan Granth hain. And that is why they have been maintained. Over 5,000 years, they have been maintained because they are knowledge texts. And they have been maintained, even the Buddhists have been maintained, the Jain have been maintained, the Sanatan have been maintained, all knowledge texts have been maintained. So, creation, their creator. Now look at our system, our thinking. Our thinking, this whole creation is a self-manifestation. It is always there. It's always there. It's a manifestation. And Brahman, you see, Brahman, if you follow Indian philosophy, Brahman is the energy principle. Energy principle. And the whole universe, ocean of melted energy. Ocean of, जैसे lava होता है ना, the whole universe is perceived as pulsating matter. Pulsating matter. It's pulsating matter in which forms arise and forms collapse. We can see stars coming, stars breaking. We can see 100 years back, none of us was here. 100 years from now, none of us will be here. So the whole universe is pulsating energy in which forms arise and forms collapse. So Brahman is an energy principle and is compared to वो जो मकड़ी होती है, मकड़ी अपने ही जाले में रहती है. So this Brahman is immanent in the universe because Brahman is the energy principle. Energy is immanent in the universe. And because it is immanent in the universe, the entire universe is sacred for us. हमारे लिए सारी सृष्टि जो है sacred है. हमारे ग्रैंडफादर हमको शाम को पत्ते को छेड़ने नहीं देते थे, प्लांट को छेड़ने नहीं देते थे कि ये भी सोता है. You see? So everything has life and everything is sacred. So you see the difference? Guru Nanak ka Arbad Narbad Dhundukara, a wonderful latest statement about this, the Nasadiya Sukt in the Rig Veda, reworded by Guru Nanak in Arbad Narbad Dhundukara, where you know how this creation is a self-generated creation. And this is very scientific and it is very, your Stephen Hawkins, says, yes, it comes by own. But वो trigger कहाँ से, वो life कहाँ से, trigger. He calls this God particle. That God particle is the boson, the other word. God particle, Brahman is the God particle. You see, energy. Energy is the God particle. Energy itself the matter takes form because the matter is energized matter. Energy does not live independent of matter. It is energized matter. So बड़ा फर्क है. अब क्रिएशन के बारे में सोचना है, गॉड के बारे में, और ले लीजिए रियलिटी. ये सब जो हम देखते हैं. For once the Western mind went with the Greeks, and reality is terra firma. For the Western mind, geometry is the ideal science for the Greeks. And that means for them reality is measurable, quantifiable. You can cut it, segment it and recreate it. Geometry में होता है ना, इसका square का triangle. So the terra firma, reality is a terra firma. But for us, reality is not terra firma. It is terra cognita. And there are 3 levels of reality. Pratibhasik satta, tatvarthik satta, paramarthik satta. So 3 different levels of reality. We don't have one terra firma. And cognita, the Dhananjay did mention that in the Rig Veda it is said that Salilani takshati, that language cuts forms in the ocean of reality. उन्होंने कहा भी लैंग्वेज कंस्ट्रक्ट्स रियलिटी. बड़ा सिंपल है, ये बड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स लगता है. बच्चे हमारी क्लास में भी सोचते थे हाउ कैन लैंग्वेज कंस्ट्रक्ट रियलिटी. Now the idea is the reality is not necessarily outside. In fact, whatever is outside, you are also constructing it in your mind. आप माइंड में कंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हैं. अगर मैं एग्जांपल जो दिया करता था कि इफ आई अटर द वर्ड कैट, कैट, एवरीबडी नोज कैट, बिल्ली, एंड इफ आई स्टार्ट आस्किंग कि आपने दिमाग में कोई कैट आई, क्या रंग है, यू गो राउंड, यू विल फाइंड देयर आर 70 कैट्स, डिफरेंट कैट्स. कोई वाइट है, कोई काली है, कोई बैठी हुई है, कोई भाग रही है, कोई चल रही है, किसी ने मुंह में बलूंगड़ा पकड़ा हुआ है. यू सी, सो दैट वन वर्ड कैट हैज क्रिएटेड so many cats, because the word, the object or the word or even the image, घोड़ा या घोड़े की फोटो या घोड़ा शब्द, तीनों they evoke an image in your mind. That is called cognition, and that is what we call reality. So that way, you see, for us reality is not ये सामने जो है बस, इसके पीछे, इसके beyond, इसके नीचे, इसके अंदर, you see क्या है, we are not able to understand. And ultimately, you see, for the West, this reality, Cartesian separateness, everything is separate, everything has its own identity. बड़ी प्रॉब्लम कर रखी है इनके आइडेंटिटी ने आजकल. अस्मिता का इतना प्रकोप है समाज में भी, हर जगह आइडेंटिटी, हर चीज अलग अलग. But in our thought, it is a continuum. There is no discreteness. It is a continuum. प्रतीति समुत्पाद जो है बुद्धिस्ट का, interdependence. Everything is interdependent on the other. Everything is linked with the other. And at a highest level, at the level where we said that creation is simply energized matter, at that level there is no difference. There is no difference. So when you are young, and if you mistake a rope for a snake, you get scared and you have fear, you can't speak. But then when you grow a little wise, or when the light is shed, you say, अरे ये तो rope है, सांप नहीं है. But when you lose teeth like me and become perhaps a little wise, you understand कि सांप में और rope में भेद नहीं है. बात तो एक ही है ना. अगर वो rope ही होती तो मुझे डर क्यों लगता. So ultimately at that level all reality is one. So that Cartesian separateness has been a root of conflict in the West. But we have no separateness of reality, as that Buddhist concept I just mentioned very clearly articulates. Nature, attitude to nature. West ka, they do things to nature, but we do things for nature. बहुत बड़ा भेद है ना. वो as Descartes again mentioned, the goal of knowledge is to bend nature to man's purpose. Bend nature to man's purpose. ये goal of knowledge है. Descartes, 16th century, early 17th century. नेचर को इतना बेंड किया कि द डिपार्टमेंट्स ऑफ एनवायरमेंटल साइंस बनाने पड़े. पहले तोड़ो फिर जोड़ो. फर्स्ट डिस्ट्रॉय, देन वेल्ड करिए या गोंद लगाइए या कुछ भी करिए. ट्राई टू डू दैट. बट इट्स वन ऑफ द sad facts of life that what is lost by through gaining new knowledge, you lose certain forms of knowledge, kinds of knowledge. That which is lost cannot be recovered. It's not recovered. You see? So what you lose. And we consider that, a replacement, substitution as progress, development. But then at a cost, as we know, at a great cost. The West has reached the pandemic of affluence, material well-being, at the cost of human relationships. And the society is not able now to recover those relationships that they have lost. And then man as a species. In the Abrahamic system, man is a sinner. He is sinful. He is a fallen creature, Read the Old Testament, because he violates God's dictum. And so he's a fallen creature. Because he's a fallen creature, he has to be redeemed. उसको उठाना है, उसको डेवलप करना है, उसको लाइट डाल के उसको नॉलेज का ज्ञान की लाइट देनी है, या उसको डरा धमका के दूसरी तरह ले जाना है. बट मैन इज ए सिनर. Man is a sinner in the Abrahamic system. But in our system, we are sparkles of the divine. Aham Brahmasmi. And Carlyle, 19th century Carlyle, he uses exactly these words. Who am I? I am a sparkle of the divine floating in the ether of eternity. I am a sparkle of the divine floating in the ether of eternity. And at that level, we are all equal and we are all one. We are all equal and all one. So, as a species, then beings, life forms, in there is a separateness. But here, we have a continuity. Man is not superior. He is not the best. He is not the best. He is just part of that 8 lakh 8,44,000 or something, 84 lakh yoniya, which is very close to the modern assessment of 8.5 million, you see, life forms. They are all the same, at the same level, and they have the equal right. A cockroach has an equal right to live as me. I am not superior. I am not God's best creation. Again, Old Testament, read Deuteronomy, that I have made you in my image. You the ship, the fish of water and fowl of the air are for you to enjoy. Exercise dominion over them. Now this philosophy, exercise dominion over them, it derives the political thought of the West and social thought of the West. Exercise dominion over others. So, and then time is linear. Unless you believe time is linear, you cannot believe in evolution. You cannot believe in Darwinism. But we don't believe in linear time. We believe in cyclical time. साइकिल है, चक्र है. और इसलिए हमारे यहाँ आप वेस्ट में किसी से पूछें कि अब अच्छा है कि पहले अच्छा था, अरे पहले तो बड़ी मुसीबत थी, बहुत ठंड होती थी, सड़कें नहीं थी. आज देखिए कितनी प्रोग्रेस हो गई है टेक्नोलॉजी से, सेंट्रल हीटिंग है. एवरीबडी विल टेल यू नो इट इज़ गुड, इट वॉज बैड. इन इंडिया यू आस्क एनीबडी, पहले ठीक था कि अब तो सब खराब हो गया, पहले बहुत बढ़िया था. इट इज़ नॉट पैसिमिज्म कि अब सब खराब हो गया. इट इज़ ए वेरी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक कि जितना जल्दी खराब होगा दोबारा शुरू हो जाएगा. द बेस्ट टाइम विल कम अगेन. सो इट्स नॉट पैसिमिज्म एट ऑल. सो इट्स ए वेरी फंडामेंटल डिफरेंस. सो वी आर नॉट एन एवोल्यूशनरी पीपल. हमारे लोग कहते हैं मैं तो बंदर का, भाई आई एम सॉरी, डार्विन जो भी कहे, मैं तो बंदर की औलाद नहीं हूँ. बंदर अलग है, मैं अलग हूँ. हमारे लोग मान नहीं पाते. वी आर नॉट एवोल्यूशनरी एंड वी आर नॉट लीनियर पीपल. हमें एवोल्यूशन का कॉन्सेप्ट समझ नहीं आता है. इफ यू हैव ए लीनियर टाइम, यू आर गोइंग टूवर्ड्स दैट. देयर इज लॉट ऑफ एंग्जाइटी इन द वेस्टर्न सिविलाइजेशन. टाइम बीतेगा, चीज़ें खराब होंगी, इतनी खराब हो जाएंगी, आर्मेगेडॉन होगा, बहुत बड़ा युद्ध होगा, या ऐसा प्रलय आएगा, फिर सेकेंड कमिंग क्राइस्ट फिर आएगा, या फिर अल्लाह आएगा, फिर हमको बचाएगा. वो एंग्जाइटी रिडन है. हमारे यहाँ कोई एंग्जाइटी नहीं है. देयर नो एंग्जाइटी, क्योंकि वो चक्र आएगा अपने आप, काल चक्र है, अपने आप चलेगा. हमारे हाथ में नहीं है. देयर इज ए डायनामिज्म inherent in the people, a dynamism inherent in the society and in the nature. And suffering, human life में जो suffering है, इसकी cause क्या है? इसकी cause देखिए, ग्रीक्स क्या कहते थे? ग्रीक्स कहते थे fate. अगर if Oedipus happens to, in error, he marries his mother and he is blinded. So that blindness, that suffering is because of fate. Fate is responsible, you see. And the God systems like Christianity and Islam, it is the cause of your suffering is sin. You have violated some dictum of God. sin. So it's a punishment from God. But in our system, you yourself are responsible for your suffering. Karma. आपके कर्म का फल है. You cannot pass the buck कि भैया ये तो किस्मत है, खराब निकली, मेरे तो गलती से हो गया. हमारे यहाँ रिगरस सिस्टम है. गलती से हो जाए या जानबूझ के हो जाए, गलत काम गलत है. आजकल हमारी सरकार थोड़ी एंग्लो इंडियन है और हमारी जुडिशरी भी एंग्लो इंडियन है और हमारे एजुकेशन तो है ही एंग्लो इंडियन, तो इसलिए लोग दूसरी से सोचते हैं. पर आम जो भारतीय है ना, 80-70% ऑफ पीपल, उनसे पूछिए गलत काम गलत है और उसकी सज़ा मिलनी चाहिए, चाहे कैसे भी हो. रिगरस कर्म थ्योरी है हमारी. गीता का 3-4 चैप्टर पढ़ लीजिए. सी हाउ रिगरस द कर्म थ्योरी इज. और इतनी रिगरस हो गई कि भक्ति मूवमेंट शुरू ही इस कारण हुई कि अगर कर्म इतना स्ट्रांग है तो उसके फल से कैसे हम बच सकते हैं, भक्ति से. देन यू हैव द पुराना लिटरेचर एंड ऑल दैट. एनीवेज, सो सफरिंग के लिए हम खुद रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैं. आपको मैं एक टेक्स्ट बताता हूँ. महाभारत में 9वां पर्व है वन पर्व. वो वन पर्व पूरा, इट्स एन एक्सटेंडेड डायलॉग बिटवीन युधिष्ठिर एंड द्रौपदी. एंड इट इज ऑल अबाउट दिस, हु इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर सफरिंग, यू सी. एंड द्रौपदी सेज, तुम तो धर्मराज हो, तुम्हारे भाई भी धर्मराज हैं, तुम्हें धर्म ने क्या दिया. यहाँ बैठे हो ना जंगल में, चावल खा रहे हो, और उसको देखो दुर्योधन को, उसने कहा धर्म अधर्म सब जानता हूँ, बट आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड. मखमल में बैठा है, चांदी के वेसल्स में 56 भोग लगा रहा है, अधर्म करता है, तुम्हें धर्म ने क्या दिया. एंड युधिष्ठिर सेज, आप नास्तिकों की भाषा बोल रही हैं. मैंने धर्म का रास्ता ये सोचकर कभी नहीं अपनाया कि मुझे मिलेगा क्या. जो लोग धर्म का रास्ता ये सोचकर अपनाते हैं कि हमें मिलेगा क्या, वो धर्म के व्यापारी हैं, ट्रेडर्स इन वर्च्यू. आई एम नॉट ए ट्रेडर इन वर्च्यू. एंड देन इफ शी डजंट गिव अप, शी सेज दैट व्हेन मोतियों की माला बिखरती है या नदी के किनारे पेड़ नदी में गिरता है, वो सब उसकी इच्छा से होता है. और अगर तुम्हारे जैसे लोगों के साथ, धर्म के लोगों के साथ ये सब हो रहा है, इट शोज गॉड इज ऑल्सो नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन धर्म. सो शी ब्लेम्स गॉड, जो भगवान या नियति वो रिस्पॉन्सिबल है. युधिष्ठिर सेज, नो, आई एम रिस्पॉन्सिबल. मैं, ठीक है, मुझे द्यूत क्रीड़ा इनवाइट किया तो मुझे खेलना चाहिए था, पर मैं ना कर सकता था. मैंने खेला, मैं दाव पे तुम्हें नहीं लगा सकता था, फिर भी तुम्हें दाव पे लगाया. तो मैं भगवान को कैसे ब्लेम करूंगा और किसी को कैसे करूंगा. अल्टीमेटली द रूट्स ऑफ सफरिंग आर इन वन्स ओन सेल्फ. इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट डॉक्ट्रिन. एंड देन गोल ऑफ लाइफ. Aristotle is very much Indian, Aristotle and Plato, but the Greeks are Eastern people. In his book on ethics, he says that which everybody wants cannot be the goal of life. Power, status, and money. Everybody wants them. They cannot be the goal of life. Because if you say, my goal of life is money, people will ask you, what for? क्या करोगे, किस लिए चाहिए. पावर किस लिए चाहिए, स्टेटस किस लिए चाहिए. सो दैट विच इज ए मीन्स, जो साधन है वो साध्य नहीं हो सकता. दीज 3 आर मीन्स, दे कैनॉट बी द गोल. द गोल ऑफ लाइफ इज हैप्पीनेस. अरिस्टोटल, हैप्पीनेस, वो बड़ा ब्यूटीफुल डिस्कशन है, बाद में लॉन्जाइनस भी करता है, पर टाइम नहीं उसमें. हैप्पीनेस. एंड इन इंडिया ऑल्सो, जब आवे संतोष धन, सब धन धूरी समान. द गोल ऑफ लाइफ इज कंटेंटमेंट, नथिंग एल्स. एंड दिस इज वेरी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द गोल ऑफ लाइफ इन द वेस्ट. यहां आप जितना भी जियो, खुश जियो, कंटेंटेड लाइफ. एंड दिस इज ए लाइफ विच इज धार्मिक लाइफ. You cannot be happy if you are looking only for your own happiness. In order to be happy, you have to look for the happiness of others. So it's a very holistic vision. And the goal of life, I had an occasion to talk to people abroad, outside. You see, they have developed science so much. हर चीज़ बदल देते हैं, लिवर बदल देते हैं, हार्ट बदल देते हैं, हाँ? लंग्स बदल देते हैं. क्यों? लंबा जीवन. Their goal of life is long life. For what? There is no philosophy. आप इतना लंबा जीना क्यों चाहते हो? राम गयो, रावण गयो, गयो सब दरबार, आप भी जाओ, हाँ? पर नहीं, लगा के लिवर ट्रांसप्लांट करा के, ये करा के अपना लाइफ जीवन. I asked them, what is the goal? Why? Why do you want to live so long? कोई आंसर नहीं है. दर्शन में उनके, सिविलाइजेशन के दर्शन में उनका आंसर नहीं है. वो क्या है? जिया जरा थोड़ी स्कॉच और पिएंगे, थोड़े चिकन और खाएंगे. दैट्स ऑल. दैट इज मटीरियल वेलबींग है ना सारा. हमारे यहाँ चरक संहिता में शुरू ही चरक संहिता होता है. दिस इज द साइंस ऑफ आयु, एज. एंड ही सेज, कौन सी आयु? सुख आयु, हित आयु. सुख आयु, your limbs, your mind, your self, they are in harmony. You are in harmony. That are you. That are you. Transplanted nahi. That are you. And hit are you. The fact that you are alive is useful for others. आप जिंदा हैं, इससे दूसरों की भलाई हो रही है. That are you. Hit are you. So you have a goal that you want to take care of your body, you want to live long, not for only yourself, but that you will be able to do good to the others. So this is a fundamental cultural or civilizational difference. And finally, values of life. मोक्ष और लॉन्ग लाइफ तो हमने बताई दी, मोक्ष और लॉन्ग लाइफ. और एक देखिए वहाँ गॉड इज द ऑब्जेक्ट. आप अभी भी don't think that West has forgotten its foundational principle. It has not. It has not. They hide it very well, but they have not forgotten it. और हमारे यहाँ तो ऑब्जेक्ट जो है वो देखा जाए, जीव जगत ब्रह्म और ब्रह्मांड, इनका नेचर क्या है और इनका रिश्ता क्या है, ये गोल ऑफ नॉलेज है हमारे यहाँ. जीव जगत ब्रह्मन ब्रह्मांड, इनका आपस में रिश्ता क्या है और इसका नेचर क्या है, इनका नेचर क्या है. और वहाँ मैन एंड गॉड, गॉड एंड मैन इन रिलेशन टू गॉड. एंड 30 चीज़ें हमारी सिविलाइजेशन में बड़ी कोर में रही हैं. जब मैं रिपीट करता हूँ दैट हमारी सिविलाइजेशन की कोर में 3 वैल्यूज़ हैं. हम पहचाने ना पहचाने पर वो कहीं ना कहीं आती हैं. संयम, संयम, रिस्ट्रेंट, नियम एंड श्रद्धा. I will explain these because these are very important. And the contemporary civilization that we are copying, it is the opposite of these 3. Sanyam is restraint. Restraint in your actions, restraint in your speech, restraint in your thoughts. Restraint. Restraint in eating. Restraint in speaking. Everything. इसका opposite आजकल क्या है? इंडल्जेंस. इंडल्जेंस. घर से ब्रेकफास्ट करके निकलो, कॉलेज में जाओ, गर्लफ्रेंड मिल गई, उसके साथ बैठ के फिर खाओ समोसा, उसके बाद लंच खाओ. मतलब पैसा जेब में है तो खाते रहो. इंडल्ज. जो डिसिप्लिन, सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन, रिस्ट्रेंट. माई मदर यूज टू से, बिलीव मी, कि काका 2 रोटी दी भूख है ना तो 1 खा. If you have hunger, appetite for 2, eat 1. That was the Sanyam principle. And you are supposed to stand also with Sanyam. You wear clothes also with Sanyam. Those of you who have gone abroad, you know the difference. कि संयम का कपड़ों में या वैसे ड्रेस में क्या होता है. And this second one is niyam. Niyam is not rule. Niyam is if there is more than one way of doing something, one is to be preferred. These are highly civilized rules and they go for a harmonious social life. इसलिए they are important. Preferred way. I give a very coarse example. पानी पीना है, कहीं पहुंचे, अबे पानी ला ले यार जरा, पानी ला, सुना नहीं तुमने, पानी ला. एक है वही आदमी है कि भाई साहब थोड़ा पानी मिलेगा. एक तरीका अच्छा है करने का. हर चीज में श्रेयस और प्रेयस होता है. इन एवरीथिंग व्हाट यू वांट टू डू एंड व्हाट यू शुड डू, तो जो नियम जो है, तो नियम के विरुद्ध आजकल क्या है? फ्रीडम. आई एम 18, आई एम 21, आई एम एन अडल्ट. मम्मी, यू हैव नो बिजनेस टू आस्क मी व्हेन आई शैल कम बैक. हमारा प्रिंसिपल अलग है. नियम इज अपोज्ड बाय फ्रीडम, संयम इज अपोज्ड बाय इंडल्जेंस. एंड द थर्ड वन इज श्रद्धा. वी हैड रेवरेंस not only for people, for relationships, but also for objects. चीज़ों को भी, हम चीज़ों की भी लाइफ मानते थे. हमारे एक पुराने ड्राइवर साहब गाड़ी लेके चंडीगढ़ जा रहे थे, गर्मी बड़ी थी, जून, तो कहे सर आपको मैं उतारता हूँ, मैं ज़रा छाया देखता हूँ, कहीं पार्क करके लाऊंगा. बड़ी 5, 7, 10 मिनट. मैंने कहा अरे कर देते, यहाँ थोड़ी देर गर्मी होती. कहते नहीं सर देखिए, हमको गर्मी लगती है ना, गाड़ी को भी गर्मी लगती है. मैंने कहा वो कैसे? कहते अगर आपकी कार धूप में ही पड़ी रहेगी, उसका रंग बदल जाता है ना, हमारा भी रंग बदल जाता है. इनमें भी तो जीव है, इनमें भी लाइफ है. ये आपको पहचानती है. अगर आप चलाते हैं गाड़ी को 10 साल से, वो आपके पैर को पहचानती है. और दिस इज अ वेरी डिफरेंट वे ऑफ थिंकिंग, यू सी. एंड श्रद्धा, इसलिए हमारे यहाँ लोग पुराने स्कूटर, मेरा मोटरसाइकिल 65 का अभी भी खड़ा है मेरे घर के नीचे. And my old ambassador which I wanted to sell, my daughter did not allow me to sell. Why? Because she said the grandfather and grandmother used to sit in it. वो इसमें बैठते थे. तो मैंने कहा पे ये तो खड़ी रहेगी. तो कहते वो दादाजी भी तो बैठे ही रहते थे, वो क्या करते थे? तो ये भी खड़ी रहेगी. इट्स अ वेरी डिफरेंट फिलॉसफी. श्रद्धा, रेवरेंस. एंड टुडे रिश्तों के लिए भी हम, बड़ा भाई छोटे भाई के नाराज हो जाता था तो जाके कहता था कि भाई मेरे से क्या गलती हो गई, नाराज क्यों है? आजकल कहता है होने दे नाराज, वो अपना खाता है मैं अपना खाता हूँ. रिलेशनशिप्स की वैल्यू नहीं रही ना उसने. तो इसका अपोजिट क्या है? डिस्पोज ऑफ. आपकी कोई मशीन खराब हो गई, मार्केट में जाइए, कितने पैसे लगेंगे? 600. नहीं, कितने की है? 900 की. फेंको इसको, नहीं दे दो. हमारी रिपेयरिंग कल्चर थी. आप लोगों को याद होगा जो उम्र में बड़े हैं, हम चीज़ों को रिपेयर करते थे, रिश्तों को भी रिपेयर करते थे. अब हम रिप्लेसमेंट कल्चर में हैं. बीवी बूढ़ी हो गई, उसको भी रिप्लेस कर दो. डिस्पोज ऑफ. आई हैव सीन सच ब्यूटिफुल सीन्स, आई टेल यू, इन हॉस्पिटल्स, वेयर आई हैव सीन, यू नो, frail wife pushing a very sick husband on the, you see, जितना दुख दर्द बढ़ता है वो उसको छोड़ते नहीं है, फिर वो और नज़दीक आते हैं. ये जो श्रद्धा है रिश्तों की, क्योंकि ऋग्वेद में जो एक मैरिज का मंत्र है, आई होल्ड योर हैंड टुडे सो दैट we grow old together. These are some of the things. The way we think is different. The way we make sense of the world is different. We are an alternative civilization. और जो contemporary crisis है, जो civilization का, उसकी solution हमारी कल्चर में है. हम नेचर को वर्शिप करते हैं, इसलिए हम, ये बहुत गलत है जो बड़े बड़े डैम, देयर हैव बीन अपॉन मूवमेंट्स अगेंस्ट, यू सी, बड़े बड़े नदियों के नेचुरल फ्लो को रोकना और पेड़ को नॉर्मली ग्रो ना होने देना, ये हम वायलेंस मानते हैं. आजकल तो बोनसाई कल्चर है. इतना विशाल बड़ का पेड़ होता है, उसे छोटा सा बना के लोगों को दिखाते हैं, देखो जी कितना सुंदर है. तो हम बड़ों को छोटा करने वाली सिविलाइजेशन है. एक सिविलाइजेशन होती है जो छोटे को भी बड़ा बना देती है. यू सी, होमर मेड गॉड्स ऑफ मैन. See, made gods of men. So we people make puny mortals of gods. Thank you very much.